Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna look on my phone and see if you can hear me. I'm like 10 minutes late. I'm sorry. Because I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. And if you can't hear me right now and you're on here, um, let me know if you can hear me. Um, okay. Real quick, I just want to jump on here because I haven't been on here for a couple days. It's been super, super busy this week. But I had some stuff I want. Okay, you can hear me, Sarah? Okay, cool. Because these aren't my regular earbuds that I always wear. Okay, so this past week has been like crazy busy. And I know it's because it's been nice out, but I haven't done what I wanted to do in here. But that's okay because basically this week I just wanted to help you guys call out your stories, and I know I posted about it, but I want to tell you what that means and how to do it. So like your stories of your story around money, like it's always a struggle to get it, or it's for people that are, if people have money, they're snobby or whatever. That's your belief. That's a limited belief, not really a story, but your story. So, like, for instance, I said I wasn't good at relationships up until like the last 3 years. I've had a bunch of failed relationships. I've never been married. So my story was I'm just not good at relationships. Love just isn't for me. Or, all the good men are taken. That was another story of mine. So just things that we tell ourselves because we don't have those things, and so we're like, okay, well, that's because, or like addiction. Okay, a lot of people that have struggled with addiction, myself included, I used to say, I just have an addictive personality. I have an addictive personality, and no, I don't. It's just that's what I would tell myself to not have to fully rely on myself for being addicted to something or liking something too much. So those are your stories. And so I said, what are your stories around love, purpose, your life, health, relationships, sex, anything. It's whatever your stories have been for your entire life since you can remember. So like, for instance, with women, some women have a very hard time being being nice to other women. They think, they look at them as competition. And some women, this is the way their mother was and their grandmother was. I mean, this is the way their family has been generation after generation. There's never been, I've seen it to where like women, it's not that that woman did anything, but like they really had it out. Women have it out for other women. There's some women who just cannot stand other women, and it's constant competition. But when you remove that story and you're like, really, why? They're not, it's stupid. It's crazy. And you look back and you're like, oh my God, I've based my life off of this entire belief or story that I tell myself. And then also I said in there, we may borrow other stories. So, for example, like my mom, well, God, okay, that's a perfect example about God existing and me growing up. That was everyone else's story, and they had this story of how the earth began and how human existence da 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 da, but that wasn't a story that I genuinely believed. I just said I believed in it because my family, my grandpa was a pastor, my uncle was a pastor, but everybody believed in God, so I needed to believe in God in order to fit in with my family. So that's a perfect example of what it means to call out your stories, because they're not necessarily, they're falling off. Just like everything else, when you start to go through this healing process, things that don't serve you anymore fall away. And I know I've talked to a couple of you, and I've said this, that we're in a new age of like living where patriarchy, or however you say that word, is no longer, and authenticity is rising up. So like fake things, inauthenticity, and people that aren't being genuinely wanting to, like, selling, like marketing, like, you see them all the time on Facebook. This is partly why people are hesitant to start working online, because they think that it's all a scam when it's not. But to sell and market, before it was very like salesy and gross feeling. Now selling and marketing online is fun. It's so fun, and it's not gross feeling and all that. I have my best friend Cassie. She's an insurance agent, Cassie Books, and she is phenomenal at this. Like I told her she needs to she needs to teach like a workshop or something on how to sell without feeling gross, because she's just a master. I mean, because she really does care about her clients and customers. I mean, she's really, but like, it's just her whole energy, and I just love her. So anyway, okay. So my week was very busy, yes, and so I wanted to get you guys thinking about your stories. And this challenge isn't like a day by day, I'm going to hold your hand and tell you what to do every day. That's not what this is. I'm just giving you things to do and that I know have helped me, and then, you can run with it. And then ask questions if you need it, if you need help with it, if you want me to do something, that's deeper, talking about it, like anything with meditation or anything like that, just let me know. But anyway, so yeah, the stories was this week. Meditation journaling was last week. The stories were this week. And next week, I'm going to get you guys into alignment. I'm really excited about it. I've actually planned everything out, and it's like super, I love it. I can't wait to show you girls. So this week, yesterday, real quick, I want to tell you before I forget, is that one of my best friends called me last night and about the whole Floyd thing, about the whole, the black man that was killed by the cop, and how all the riots are. And she texted me and was like, I'm very bothered by this. I feel like I need to say something. I need to post. I need to say something. And so I called her and I told her, then say it. And she's like, you're just so good. Like, what do I write? This is something I'm very passionate about. You're so good at doing this. Like, please, can you help me do this? And so we're talking, and I said, I post from my what I'm feeling. I really do. If I try to think about a post, it'll take me hours to write a post, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I have to write from inspiration, or I'm just like blah. It's horrible. So anyway, she's going through what she wants to say, and she's like, oh, I don't know, I think I might step on some toes by saying it that way, or whatever. And I stopped her right there, because that's what happens when you have something you want to say, or something like really, really hits hard, like this whole thing with Floyd and the black, the racism, and she has a black child. Her son, EJ, is black. And so that's why she's really bothered, because of how he's going to be treated in the future. She's very scared about it. And so as we're going through it, and she's like, oh, I might step on some toes about that. That's where you have to stop, because who cares? Who cares if you step on some toes? You're going to step on some toes. You're not for everyone. Your message, like what I'm saying right now, isn't for everyone. Like, and I know it's not, and I don't take it personally. So with Crystal, which if she gets on here, I need to tell her to get on here, but she really wants to do something about this, like to let mothers of black, or of mixed children or black children know that, like, there needs to be a change. Like, she wants to make an impact and inspire change. And so we sat down and we were talking about it and everything, and she's like, well, I'll write this and post it later. And when you do that, you might not feel like it later. The inspiration's going to pass you by. And I'm just letting you guys know this, that if something is rising up in you, like this whole situation with racism and what's going on right now, and the riots and the protesting, and I mean, it's nasty. Say it. Just say it. If you're not being rude to anybody and you're coming from a place of love, who freaking cares if somebody doesn't like what you have to, like, who cares? And so anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that, because she called me, and then I had to go pick up my friend from Rochester this week, because she's going through a hard time. And so she hung out with me this week. Her name's Amber. She gets on here too. She's part of the group. And she just reminded me, getting her reminded me what this group is about. Is that I want you guys to stop not saying things and dimming your light because of what other people might think. That's like one of the number one thing I want to help you do, because nobody in this group, I think, is coming from an angry place or a bad place or a negative place. You all are like badass. You're all just trying to find yourselves. You're shedding, and I want to help you do that. So that's what this group is about. And this past week really reminded me of why I made this group, why I did. Like Crystal calling me last night, Amber needing my help, and Sarah, I talked to Sarah a lot. We text throughout the day. Like she is actually, she's taking action on finding herself, and I give her tips, and she's actually using these tips in this group. And I know a lot of women that see my messages, they probably watch my video, but they don't like it or anything because they're not ready to, and that's okay, because you don't want anyone to know that you're possibly not okay with where you're at in life. Nobody wants, we don't want to shout that to the world, but sometimes it just doesn't freaking matter. Just stop caring what other people think. And I know it's hard. I know it's really hard, but anyway, that's part of your stories too. So I'd love to hear if you guys, what you discovered by going through your stories. And I can post like some worksheets that I have in my coaching, my certification that I'm taking, just to help you guys, to guide you. Because just like with journaling, it's hard just to think about something to journal about. So like I sent Sarah a bunch of journal prompts that I found on Pinterest, and I'll post them on here. But I know if you don't know what to think about, it's really hard to start thinking about something and writing. And my suggestion is just to write about your day. Write about what happened today and what you liked about it and what went well and what you're thankful for, and that's it. Because I don't know, just don't overthink it, because it's just, make things simple. That's another really big part of my life now. Like I just want simplicity. Okay, so what else? I think that was all. So this week it's about your stories. I hope that you can like bust them out and then change them. Come up with some new stories. So for instance, my love story of I'm just not a lovey person, and all men are taken, is that I wasn't ready for love. I wasn't ready for a relationship. I wasn't ready to be I wasn't valuable to, I really wasn't. I wasn't like something, I'm not what I am now, but I just wasn't ready at that time, and that's okay. And then about money, like now, money is an energy, and it's there to help us. I don't have a bad relationship with it anymore. I wrote a letter to it, and we're good now. But just start doing that. Just change up your stories in a better way that'll serve you best than what your old story was. Okay? And if you have any questions, just like message me or comment on here or whatever. Just let me know. Okay? And I think that was it. If you guys let me know if you like for next week, if you guys are I'm gonna help you get into alignment. It's 5 days. Every day is gonna be one day we're gonna work on. By Friday, you're gonna be in alignment with your soul and your spirit. So that's what we're doing next week. And then if you've started meditating, I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.